I am here to introduce our new product, the Full Force Seeker, that we are selling here real soon, and show you how to install the unit. Now this unit is designed for your live scopes, your live units, Hummingbirds, Lowrance, Garmin, all your stuff that you want to use so you can run it independently of your trolling motor. This unit right here is going to suggested retail at $6.99. It has a variable speed foot pedal with a simple dial that you turn to change. You have your left, your right, simple plug-in mount, one power cord. You hook that up to your power system, one mounting bracket. It also comes clean with a 360 mounting setup for your trolling motor. I'm going to show you how to install this. Simple, fast, easy, affordable, light. This only weighs 4 pounds, and you can go about your way, fish in your tournaments, or crappie fish, bass fish, whatever it is you do, so you can locate your fish when you're on spot lock, independent of your trolling motor at any given time. Stay tuned for a mounting installation situation and everything. So let's get to it, and thank you. Okay, so we got to take this off the shaft of the trolling motor, because we're going to run it on our independent accessory trolling motor shaft out here, which is this thing right here. Of course, this is our LM34 puck, so therefore for the Garmin unit we want to make this independent of the trolling motor shaft, so we can put it on there. So we have the auxiliary trolling motor shaft, is which we call the Full Force Seeker, is an auxiliary trolling motor shaft which come down with a variable speed. So therefore we're going to remove this now. Of course, this was mounted on here for other purposes, of course, of using it, because we didn't have this boat does not have this on this Ultrex, so we're going to go ahead and remove this. So here we go. Now that this is disconnected here, we're going to set this here because we don't need it now. And of course, cables are in the way, so this here is going to be set up here in a minute. This is going to go on the shaft. Make sure that you don't have any cables in the way, and they all do what you want them to do without getting in the way of anything. So we're going to do that right now. Okay, so in this case we have a Garmin. We have 2 Garmin systems here. We're going to have a trolling motor here with this, and we're realigning the cables, so we're going to run them on the inside. We'll get that done here in a second, so that nothing is in the way of twisting, binding, or having any negative effect on the setup. All right, I'm going to put a bushing on so that we have our stabilizer arm to go on the trolling motor, which actually goes on, and it's a twist on. Okay, so I'll use the fatter end on the bottom on this case. So all we're doing is we're going to figure out where we want this, and then we're just going to pinch it on. So this bushing is designed to hold the stabilizer arm, as you can see right here. Okay, so we're going to put that on like as you can see. Now I recommend that no cables go inside this bushing whatsoever. I want everything to be on the outside of that bushing, for just because this spins. You don't want to twist or cut or anything inside here. I mean, granted, people put them inside, but I'm not the kind of guy, so I'll run up and then I'll go right up the whole thing just like this, because I don't want to worry about any cutting of any brackets or anything like this. So I always recommend to go on the outside of the bushings. Now that we got this on, of course, you'll see it's a 2-piece system with the self-tapping screws, and they go on just like so. And so now we're going to put basically the bolts in just like this, and then we'll tighten it up, and then the support arms on there. We're just getting a couple things set up right now before we hook up the power. And then once the power is we'll show you how to put the power in. It's pretty simple, just positive, negative, done. Once you get the power cord in, and then you just plug it right into the foot pedal. So we'll get this done real quick, and then we'll move on to we'll put the rest of the bracket on here, get that in, and then we'll hook up power. All right. Now that is done, you can see right here. So as the trolling motor spins and twists, that'll slip inside this bushing. It will wear, it'll get looser in time, of course, but it is kind of stiff right now, but it's not in the way. All right, next is we'll hook up the rest of the unit. Okay, so now I have the unit ready to mount onto the thing, and then we'll put in all of our bushings for this, and then our pin here, and we'll go right here. Here's our shaft, and we're all set up. Okay, so here you have 4 bolts that go in, and we use a flange. We recommend we have a flange set up so they're self-locking, self-tightening, so they don't back out while you're driving, and we're putting them in right now, right here. These 2 go. And that is pretty much done. You kind of want to put it on like a lug nuts of a tire so everything goes in evenly. You don't want to be anything torquing, and set it up. You know, take your time, put them in evenly, and you'll have a better fitting. And yep, and we're done. Next is let's hook up power. Okay, so now we are removing where the power is so we can hook up the power cable to the power source that we need to do that. And so simply we're unscrewing. Well, that was stripped. Right here. So you can get power in. Yep. Let's go ahead and we're going to take this off and then we'll be set. Okay, so we're gonna get we cut just enough of this off, and we want enough to make a connection of a wire. We have a couple power sources here. We're gonna figure out which one is set so that we can get these power on our connectors and set up. So next is Now that we got our wires for connection, we're going to put on a little plug-in and we should be set. So we got power, we're using the connections, we're all set. So we got power to our unit, so now everything wants to turn. You can slow down the speed or speed it up. Really simple on the variable speed foot pedal. So now we're going to put everything back together, put the foot pedal down here. We're going to have to cut just a little bit of the pipe because he has a shorter shaft trolling motor, so therefore we don't want the trolling motor hitting any part of the puck. We'll get to that here in a second. Real simple cut. Take a hacksaw, cut off that much, and you're good. Other than that, because you got to be mindful of your trolling motor and your puck when you're doing your trolling motors for raising and lowering your shaft, so that nothing is in the way of raising and lowering your shaft. Okay, so now we're going to lift the trolling motor for stow mode so we can mount the rest of the system. Can you lift it, Coy? Just pick it up. There we go. Turn it where you need to turn it on the, there we go. Okay, so as we come down, as you can see, here's the foot pedal. Here's the stopper. So we'll mount this where you're comfortable once it gets in the boat and everything else. So as you can see, the shaft is in the way of the prop. So we're going to cut the shaft right there with a hacksaw when we come back. And then we'll finish putting up everything else done. And the system is done in less than, I think we've been working on this 30 minutes.
Right, 30 minutes.
Yeah, so technically all we're doing is cutting it so that the bracket doesn't get in the way of the blade of the trolling motor when you have the whatchamacallit on there. So therefore we're not set. So we're just going to I'm going to say right there. So we have a little bit of room to play. No, go to the right. I'm going to go right there. And then we're going to cut it off. All right, so now we have shrink. So what we're going to do, we're going to shrink. Comes with two of these for mounting purposes and everything. So you just take a heat gun and then just shrink this on here real fast, and then it helps with if you have to cut or burr, make sure you get a file to kind of get any sharp shavings off if you need to. But once you shrink this on, you get two of them on there, plus you have your rubber that comes with it on the mounting for that reason, so it doesn't slip. But this right here gives it a mounting surface without any slip. The shrink goes on really easy, and it protects everything. So right there, before it gets too tight. Okay, now that's on there, it ain't gonna come off. Then we'll put another one on to give it a little extra thickness. And the reason why we're leaving the bottom of it open is because we want it to drain. When you pull it out of the water, you know, water gets trapped in this pipe. So we didn't want to have any water effects sliding up this tubing, maybe, you know, mold, mildew, get inside the motor housing, any things that could cause other issues of dirt and stuff like that. So now this is on here, the shrink completely. Okay. Now that's done. Get that out of the way. So now we're going to line up the arrow with our system. So this goes on like this. Of course, we all know that. And you have that rubber there for a reason. Okay, for mounting. And think I want to go the other way. We'll get these on, and then we'll end up putting that on. Pay attention to the directions of up. So you have the side that you need to face up, of course. And then I'm going to probably end up turning the power on here in a second, and we're going to line everything up as soon as we get this stuff on, and then tighten it down. Again, try to do it evenly if you can, so that everything mounts good. You don't have too much tension on one side, stuff like that. Then you can work with it better, so we can adjust where we need it. So this is our system. Weave. As my arrow points, as I look down my shaft, you see that there's the full force secret arrow here, and then because we're kind of kinked at an angle, but I think the angle is dead on. I think I'm perfect as usual. I might go just a slight bit that way. I think that's it right there. All right, we'll take it off, tighten it down, and put the rest together. Okay, so this does come with a bushing that goes in here, but we elected not to use it. Now, I don't like, the bushing's there if you want it. I don't use it. The bushing here is important, but this bushing is not, because this is just a stabilizer. This is just designed to keep the pole from bending if you run into a dock, a log, a tree, or brush, or whatever. So it's not flexing against the motor itself and the housing here and here. So this is how I do it when I put them together. So I have the main transducer cable on the outside of this setup. So you want to have a, however you want to do it, you'll have it loose. So you'll set it up to where things don't, we haven't set this up yet because we got to do the turning radius and stuff, but I usually do this. I leave a little slack, you know, because this can go a full 360 and you don't want to tear your cables or anything like that. But I'll zip tie, one little zip tie right here with a little bit of slop, and then that allows that to turn everywhere you want to go. Just always be mindful so you don't wrap. So, and then you can simply go back and forth, and once we get it set up and get it done, we'll show you the completed product here. This is pretty much all done. It's all on here. Really nice, smooth, sleek, lightweight, very lightweight, and easy to use, cost effective. This will be the best unit you'll ever use. As you can see, this is on here, not coming off. Fast drain when you pull it out of the water, so that water doesn't store or stow inside the tube. And you know, people say, oh, you need to have a slide here. You don't need a slide. You're in the water, you're in the water. Your trolling motor, that'll prevent. If a slide snags on stuff, especially when you're fishing heavy cover, and next thing you know, your tube's down, your trolling motor's hit it, your wires are cut, and it's done. This is a full mounted system, accessory, setup, done. Perfect with a variable speed foot pedal. So if you're traveling fast, you have no problems. So here we go. Or slow. You can tune to the speed you want it at. Okay, so we got everything all put away, tangled up, untangled. We got stuff that works on the outside. Things are here. I always mount to here. That's what I do on the outside so that I have play. So everything is lined up. Coy's going to use the pedals. See how, and you have a variable speed. That's a fast speed there. So he could turn the knob on the side to slow the speed down to either go faster or slower. See how slow that's creeping? Look at that thing creep. So if you're spot locked, you really want to scan, you're not at all, keep going if you want to go the other way. You can just creep.
It turned up a little bit.
Just a little bit. See, look at that, just a slow creep. So if you're in a stop situation where spot lock is happening, you can actually creep the creep it, or if you're in a high current moving situation, you could turn up the speed so you can be quick, so that you could always survey your area. But the unit is set up, comes with the left and right pedals, the variable speed knob, power setup, power cord in here, so that just screws right on. Mount it to the direction you want. Coy wanted it this way. We were missing one mounting screw, so right now it's not completely mounted, but he'll finish it when he gets home. Other than that, the whole thing is really fluent. Set up, all done, fluid, set. Full force seeker, extension of your trolling motor, set up for all your life scope needs. See my website for more details. Thanks, guys. And oh yeah, I have the postman in the background. So we're doing this live on the street. Other than that, that's how fast it went together and how set up simple it is. Hope you guys like. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope you do. Other than that, we're all set. What do you think, Coy?
It's perfect. This is going to work really well. Can't wait to use it.
Me too. I have been using it. What am I saying?